All right, I am live, so trying something new. I'm live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. Right, so basically, I am at work on my break. That is for the background change. All right, streaming on StreamYard. Seeing how this goes. I missed. I was supposed to go live on. Oh yeah, third. Today's Thursday, right? Yeah, I was supposed to go live on Tuesday, but I got caught up in some business stuff. So first things first, let me see. Got to do an audio check, make sure the audio is fine. So let me just go to these places. All right, starting with the book. I probably should have had them all up already, but if you're listening, put ones in the chat if you can hear me. Meanwhile, I'm going to. Okay, it says I'm live on Facebook. I'm going to be browsing these sites to see. Also, too, let's see how post comment. Okay, so comments right here. Thank you, Ashley. YouTube can hear. Perfect, perfect. Okay, YouTube can hear. Facebook can hear. I don't think I can access Twitch. I don't even have an X account on this phone. I guess you can say the most important accounts will be YouTube and Facebook, X. So I had a bunch of printouts on. I printed out comments that were placed on YouTube. I was going to respond to them, but I don't have them in front of me, so I'm just going to talk about a few diseases or conditions of the body that I am going to be making IG carousels of. Yeah, and you will see them posted in my IG broadcast channel. So the first topic I'll talk about is bradycardia or bradycardia. Yeah, so I can't check X either, but YouTube and Facebook is okay. So, and this is just I won't be going in much detail over them. Just kind of some key points when talking about reversing these conditions. So bradycardia is a slower than normal heart rate. So understand with that, a slower than normal heart rate. Of course, you will want herbs for the heart. So what I like to do is just give you herbs that can help with organs of the body, not necessarily conditions or diseases, but it's focusing on the organs, not the names. So slower than normal heart rate. Heart rate. So obviously you want to focus on the heart. So a great herb for the heart will be hawthorn. And then also you're going to focus on those endocrine glands, more specifically the adrenal glands. That can work to increase your heart rate, and organs that can be and herbs that can be used to promote the adrenal glands function typically have an adaptogen action. Some examples would be holy basil and let's say ashwagandha, but I would want something a little bit stronger or suggest something a little bit stronger for that for those adrenal glands, such as licorice root or Schisandra berry. Schisandra berry is also a hepatoprotective. Licorice root also promotes the function of your pituitary gland and your hypothalamus gland. Uh, Both would be considered the master glands of your endocrine system. All right, next up, I cannot pronounce this, but what big mini? I'm assuming big a mini. Basically, heart rhythm that has an extra heartbeat between every normal one. So in this case, I would still focus on hers for the endocrine system. So a great one would be Siberian ginseng. Great for the promoting all of your endocrine glands function. And if you have any questions while I'm live, you can go ahead and put them in the chat and I'll answer them. The whole purpose of me going live is to answer your questions. I know I'm fairly new at doing this to all these platforms, but hey, consistency is key. So a great herb to promote the endocrine glands function will be Siberian ginseng. I mean, this is also great for any type of hormonal problems, hormonal imbalances. If you're having any type of neurological issues, you will want to focus on the endocrine system as well. The link from the nerves to your endocrine system would be the hypothalamus gland as well as your adrenal glands. Also, too, heart issues. Going back to that hawthorn, great for the heart. Also, herbs to help increase circulation, make sure everything getting the proper its nutrition or blood flowing to them, such as ginkgo leaf is great for that. So even great for what peripheral neuropathy. The next one I'm going to talk about, which is basically cold hands and cold feet, or I wouldn't say cold hands and cold feet, but numbness or pain, or basically poor circulation to the hands and feet, right? And ginkgo leaf again is great for that. Another great herb for it would be gotu kola. Gotu kola also has nervine actions. Ginkgo leaf is a great anti-inflammatory as well, especially in tincture form or only in tincture form. Ginkgo leaf is great. So great for any systemic problem, I would say, like lupus. What else are we talking? Sarcoidosis, etc. So just great for bringing circulation all over your body, because at the end of it all, the body is made up of cells, spaces, and two fluids, and all these cells want blood or nutrition going to them. And ginkgo leaf and gotu kola is great for that. Also, an herb you can use to help restore nerve function, because when dealing with peripheral neuropathy, basically the nerves are damaged outside of the spinal cord in your brain. So skullcap is great for that, restoring nerve function, and so is St. John's wort. It's also good as well. Did that one basically. All right. Enlarged prostate or benign prostate hyperplasia. So there's an imbalance in the male reproductive system, and when wanting to use herbs or looking for herbs to restore the male reproductive system's function, of course you want herbs to promote circulation to the scrotum, to the penis, etc. So you would want ginkgo leaf, again great for promoting circulation all throughout the body. An herb that can be used to reduce an enlarged prostate if there is an imbalance of hormones like too much testosterone would be saw palmetto berry. And then a great herb to help restore just reproductive hormones in general would be vitex or chaste berry, and that will be working on your pituitary gland more specifically. And also, too, I would add in some either licorice root or schisandra berry. Licorice root does raise blood pressure, so just caution when using that. If you already have high blood pressure, of course, don't use it. But then, too, schisandra berry. So these will, again, work on your hypothalamus, pituitary, and your adrenal glands. Licorice root is also great for ovaries in women, so strengthening the ovaries in women. Two, with enlarged prostate, uva ursi leaf is great for removing an infection in the prostate, or just really the male reproductive area. Well, women too, but if there's any type of infection going on, uva ursi leaf is great for that. And then it's another good one. Cleavers is great for reducing inflammation in the scrotum or the vas deferens in men as well. So point is, the prostate is enlarged, but you have to look at everything that could affect it. So looking at the scrotum, looking at the endocrine glands, etc., you want to bring those all in balance in order to ensure that the prostate is now healthy. Also, too, like I said before, the body is made up of cells, spaces, and two major fluids, blood and lymph. So blood will feed the cells, and lymph cleanses the cells. So the whole purpose of this prostate becoming enlarged is due to the fact that waste has accumulated around the prostate and is not being eliminated properly out via the lymphatic system. And no matter what condition you have, bradycardia, big mini, I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that word, peripheral neuropathy, cold hands and feet, etc., you got to move lymph. That is a must do. You can take all the herbs you want to, you can eat all the food you want to, but if you're not moving lymph, you won't promote cellular regeneration. And in order to move lymph, the key takeaways would be you want herbs for your kidneys, herbs for the adrenal glands, and herbs for your skin. All right, typically herbs for the kidneys, they are diuretics or have a diuretic action. Herbs for the adrenal have an adaptogen action. And herbs for the skin typically promotes the connective tissue function in some way, or hepatics. Herbs for the liver are also great for the skin. And some examples, like for the kidneys, I mean, the uva ursi leaf is great for your kidneys. Adrenal glands, rhodiola root, great for the adrenals. Skin, you have horsetail, and liver, you have herbs like burdock root and dandelion root. But the lymphatic system dumps into your kidneys, and the lymphatic waste, the cellular and metabolic waste, dumps into your kidneys, and then is urinated out. Also, some of it can be go out via defecation, and also sweating as well through the skin. So as long as you're getting the waste out, making space for the cells to regenerate, become healthy, you will start to see conditions reverse. 10 minutes in, let's go. All right, so respiratory problems. Typically, when you have a respiratory issue, of course, you have potential like upper respiratory issues, like the nasal passage, any type of infection. Golden seal root is great for that. If you're having excess mucus, look into peppermint leaf. In terms of the lungs themselves, you have a great herb, pleurisy root, if there is any type of lung pain, especially in the pleurisy. Mullein leaf or marshmallow leaf as an expectorant to help expel mucus. And also, what's another good one? Lobelia, another one to help expel mucus. But if there's any type of when you're getting involved with asthma, you got to look to your adrenal glands. It's responsible for the involuntary muscle contractions, controlling, you can say, the movement of your lungs. So herbs for the adrenal glands will be important, and that ties right back into adaptogens, and then going right back into the endocrine system. So just think holistic. So you're not only going to want to just focus on your adrenal glands, but also the entire endocrine system, so thyroid, pituitary gland, etc. Toenail fungus. All right, toenail fungus, your nail becomes thick and yellow. It may show white spots and streaks. So fungus, basically your food has started to ferment. You're eating a lot of sugars, and these sugars are not moving out fast enough. And now they're beginning to accumulate in your toe. Also, too, not washing your feet or not taking baths, that could help promote this formation as well. So you got to get sugars moving in and moving out. So herbs for the digestive system will help, or even doing a parasite cleanse using herbs like wormwood, black walnut, whole, as well as tansy or cloves, etc. to help get those bowels functioning properly. Also, there's other herbs you can add into that as well for promoting digestive system's function. But then you have antifungal herbs like golden seal root, great antifungal. And I forget if wormwood and black walnut hull has antifungal properties, but I wouldn't doubt it if they did. Got to look more into that later. All right, so going back to fermentation. So fermented foods, you got to keep the sugars moving. So this could be simple sugars or complex sugars. If you're consuming a lot of fruits and these fruits are not moving in and out, you definitely want to add in some laxatives like yellow dock root, or herbs that have a laxative action like yellow dock root or Cascara sagrada. And going back to the golden seal root, you can even apply that actually to the toe itself to help get rid of some of that fungus. And understand the white spots and streaks, that's all lymphatic. The lymphatic system deals with your fats. The lymphatic system is trying to move this stuff out, but can't, because there is poor circulation going down to the toe. Because what the body would do if there's an infection in the leg or the toe, I mean, one or two things could happen. It's going to try to push that infection out via toe, and you're going to see those white streaks, or it's going to try to bring it back up to the kidneys and get it out that way. So out through the toe or through the skin, or out through the kidney. So herbs for the skin, of course, will help. And typically too, I mean, I mentioned earlier, when you want to use herbs for increasing skin health, on one end, you have herbs for the skin itself, on the other for the liver, but also too herbs for the thyroid as well. The thyroid deals with your body's temperature, and if you get hot, you will sweat. which will promote the movement of lymph. So herbs for the thyroid can help. If you want to stimulate thyroid function, you can look at kelp or bladderwrack. And if you want to slow it down, you can check out lemon balm, which also has antiviral properties against herpes. All right, I got 2 more here. Yeah, if you got any questions for me, put them in the chat. All right. 1, AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, right? Is an ongoing condition, also a chronic condition. Comes from human immunodeficiency virus, also called HIV. So basically a weak immune system. Your immune system is weak and can't fight off infections properly. And this is systemic. So you have 3 main systems that are systemic. You have blood, your circulatory system, your nervous system, as well as your lymphatic system. And your lymphatic system is your main immune system. You want to make sure all these are functioning well. The cells need all of these to function properly in order to begin to regenerate tissue. So when dealing with circulation, of course, you have to deal with the heart. The 2 herbs I mentioned earlier still applies for this. So hawthorn, great for the heart. Even great for strengthening the arteries and veins as well. Also, goji berries is great for strengthening the arteries too. And then that ginkgo leaf, also gotu-kola. If you want a little bit more support going to the brain, you have rosemary, great for promoting upper circulation to your brain. If I'm not mistaken too, it does have carminative actions as well, so good for gas too, if I'm not mistaken. And then herbs for the nerves, the 2 I mentioned earlier, skullcap and St. John's wort. And then 2 typically herbs for the adrenal glands help to promote nerve function as well. So another one I didn't mention yet was Avena sativa, great for calming the nerves. And then herbs for the lymphatic system. So herbs for the circulatory system have a circulatory action. Herbs for the nervous system have a nervine action. And then herbs for the lymphatic system, they have an alterative action. And these herbs would include red clover, also pokeroot, bloodroot, and many more. So you got to get all these systems up and running, but more importantly, you got to get lymph moving the waste out. That way these immune cells can start doing what they want to do and fight off this infection. Another great herb for the adrenal glands would be astragalus root, which also can be used to strengthen a depleted immune system. And then a lot of people are familiar with the mushrooms, whether they be cordyceps mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, etc. All great for promoting immune function, but you can't really promote this function unless you are getting this waste out via kidneys and adrenals, essentially. So, and I will mention some more kidney herbs, which are probably the most important thing to take away from all this herbs for your kidney. So, burdock root, cleavers, uva ursi. Also, you have juniper berries, corn silk, just some more stuff you can look more into when the live is over. Cordyceps mushrooms, good for the kidneys. And also you can say FO-T, F-O-T-I. All those are great for your kidneys. All right, lastly, the last thing I have is one person mentioned they don't have anything they want to try and cure or reverse with herbs. They just, supporting themselves, more so general health. All they care about is how can they use herbs to promote general health, right? So just how to just function normal, having good, whether it be making sure you're maintaining optimal eyesight. So making sure your bowels are moving. What's another one? Energy levels are doing good, and then eliminating. I mean, if you want to make sure you are going to have health for a long period of time, or you're interested in longevity, you got to keep moving. Movement, muscle contractions moves lymph. So exercise, of course, is important. Making sure you're having, you can say 1 to 3 bowel movements a day. So, and most of that is really involved in diet. not even herbs, just what are you eating on a day-to-day basis? Are you eating stuff that's going to clog you up? So, and then too, just like with any one of these conditions I mentioned earlier, if you want to reverse, heal, diet is number one. And the number one thing that our bodies like to consume would be fruits, berries, and melons. But from a herbal perspective, when talking about promoting proper eye health, bowel health, energy levels, eliminating, etc., it always goes back to the diet. But you also have herbs for the eyes. A great one would be bilberry. A great herb for the bowels to help release, reduce inflammation in the bowels would be marshmallow root. A great herb to promote energy levels would be red ginseng. A great herb to promote elimination, essentially all herbs for your liver. So I would just throw in one. You have Oregon grapefruit. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So the topics I covered today: bradycardia, the word I cannot pronounce, Bijmini, I'll have to look that up. Peripheral neuropathy, enlarged prostate, respiratory problems or diseases, toenail fungus, AIDS, and just general health. Too, again, just remember, you got to move lymph if you want to heal, if you want to live an optimal life, you want to be old, etc. Old and healthy, old and moving, not old and in a wheelchair and constantly on medication, dependent upon insurance in order to afford medication that, in my opinion, you shouldn't be taking anyway. You know the saying, health is wealth. Let your food be your medicine, etc. And understanding too, why are fruits, berries, and melons the way to go? And that goes back to look at what the body is designed to eat. The composition of mother's milk is an example of what's best for a human, or you can say a human baby, right? The majority of it is water. Let's just say about what, I can't remember the exact percentages, but about, let's just say 87% milk. 87% water. The next up is carbs. That's about 7%. The next under that is fats, which is about 3.5%. And then right under that is proteins. It's about 1%. Let me add those up real quick. 10, 5, that's 11, 5. Then what? Some simple math here. 89. So I guess 88.5% water. Point is, when you're eating food, what category of food has the most water content? Fruits. Well, you can say melons, which is in the fruit, berries, and melons category. Carbs, simple sugar, so fructose, that's fruits again. It's some glucose, but the main thing you want is fructose when talking about diabetes or insulin problem. That's more so glucose. And then fats, you can find fats in fruits like avocados. And then proteins or amino acids. So just to show you, typically, and who knows what type of mother they got, or mothers they got this measurements from, right? Was it an actual healthy mother? Was it kind of like an average mother? Because we're not eating what we're supposed to be eating. So who's to say that the carbs wasn't supposed to be 15%, This slide was right on time. Moving lymph. Thank you for all that you do. You're welcome. Yeah. Moving lymph. That is critical. That is critical. And then just to tie in that, mature mother's milk, going back to lymph, you see all this water that's in it, and then the carbs as well. And it goes right back to moving lymph. If you look at children, they always want to move. They don't want to be stuck and sitting at a table. That's why a lot of men like to move. Boys like to move. That's why when they get in school and they can't focus for too long, because it's boring as hell and it's not catered to them to learn. Sit in the desk and I don't know, look at a book. I want to move. I want to get my hands dirty. That's how they get down. And that's how they stay healthy too. They start sitting at a desk. They start to get depressed. They can't move the cellular and metabolic waste out. Organs start to shut down, whether it be from a neurological standpoint or bowel problems. And two, so in combination of suppressing a child from moving, and then feeding them, I'm just gonna say it, garbage or things that dehydrate them, right? Proteins will dehydrate you. Proteins give you a false sense of energy. So it's a nervine stimulant, similar to coffee. Complex carbohydrates will also dry you out. So complex carbs, breads, pastas, you have the proteins. None of them are, you can say, rich in water. Dehydrate, the cells can't function properly. The cells begin to malfunction, and now you can't live an optimal life. And if you notice, most of these people, most of these influencers, most of these famous people, they're not that healthy. And I'm just saying that to say, you don't need to be in optimal health to make a bunch of money or be famous. What I'm saying is it's not that hard. It's actually, nowadays, it's a lot harder to eat the way you're supposed to, because how, everything is designed in society. Called alive. Shari, hey. Long time no see, and now have to rewatch the lives, but good to see you. Hey, good to see you too, Jezreel. Yeah, I'm actually wrapping it up. So usually I like to go about 30 minutes. I'm about 3 minutes shy. It was just me talking. I didn't get a lot of questions in, probably because of the time of day. I think I got a lot of people on the East Coast, and most of us work, And like I said, this is on my break, but I just give it another minute. I keep rambling on, see if anybody else come through with a question. Oh yeah, so yeah. So greetings. Not to interrupt, can you please share what is good for removing cysts? Just so you guys know, I don't have a lesson or classes planned just yet. So I come on to answer questions live. That's really why I'm on. But I noticed that since I don't go live often enough just yet on these platforms, not many people are going to tune in. So I sort of, this is the last minute topics I just had already printed out. I said I'm going to talk about something while I'm live. But yeah, so removing cysts, I'll end it with this. So cysts are just simply fluid filled sacs, right? And these sacs, this fluid in the sacs, they want to be moved out via lymphatic system, right? So the key to moving the lymphatic system is you want to take herbs for your kidneys, adrenals, and of course lymph, bare minimum. And these are more like bullet points, So what's good for removing them naturally? So some generally safe herbs will be the burdock root and cleavers. Both promote the movement of lymph. Both promote your kidneys function. The liver is also good for burdock root is also good for your liver. Yes, you can take them together. Also, maybe look into some ashwagandha root or holy basil. And like I say, these herbs were generally safe, Cassandra. Now, if you want to step it up to like some stronger kidney herbs, uva ursi leaf can be used to clean the kidneys. You got dog grass, which can be used to get rid of any kidney stones. And then even, marshmallow root is not, a very, it's not a herb you have to be worried about. It can be used to soothe the bladder, because when promoting kidney function, of course, you're going to keep pushing acids into the bladder. So you want to make sure your bladder is okay. So it can be used to reduce inflammation in the bladder. And then nettle leaf, some people have to worry about it if they're allergic to it, but it can be used to strengthen the kidneys, or it's a tonic. So uva ursi leaf, dog grass, marshmallow root, and nettle leaf. And yeah, you can combine all those herbs together as well as the ashwagandha and holy basil too. But just to give you an idea of, when talking about removing cysts, basically you're going to have the sacs, the fluid are just going to start to be removed out of those sacs on their own, because right now that fluid has nowhere to go. So the body has developed these sacs in order to protect it from these acids that are in the fluid. So it can't go out through the proper channel, which it wants to go out through the kidneys. If it can't go out through the kidneys, it's going to try to make an attempt to go out through the skin. If it can't do that, now you got the sacs forming. Also, too, could be a connective tissue issue as well. But from just a pure lymphatic standpoint, hurts for the kidneys, adrenals as well as your lymphatic system. There could be a hormonal issue as well, where there's just an excess of hormones that again are not being eliminated. So you may want to go back and balance that endocrine system. And some great herbs to help restore the endocrine system's function in its entirety would be Siberian ginseng. I would say that would be the one you have to worry about the least. And then you have licorice root. Don't take if you have high blood pressure. And then also you have Schisandra berry, which is a pretty hot herb. It'll strengthen the glands as a whole. All right. I'm at my mark. Hope this helps. If you want to support me, I know on Facebook and YouTube, in the description there is a tip link to Streamlabs, or you can head over to patreon.com/HerdmanT and just subscribe. $7 a month. All right. Thank you all for joining. Peace.